I'm making a video game with underwater mechanics. In this devlog, updated score screen, world map updates, additional levels. I started by gathering a lot of references from the GameUI database website. Based on those, I created a mockup in Inkscape prior to making things in Unity, just to play with different layouts. I started with a 3-column approach. Since I want to show these pieces of info, I decided to work on the components for each piece and get the functionality working first, before deciding how they end up looking. I started by updating the chest scorebar to only display the set of chests available. Then, I worked on making the progression bar, updating it to use a vertical layout. After that, I worked on a rank widget, which will show you your current rank and any differences based on the current run. I asked my spouse for some feedback on the widget, and she mentioned that the design did not convey a change in rank, so I decided to look in the GameUI database for rank-specific screens. I created a couple variations in Inkscape and in-engine based on some of those references. At first, I attempted to show the data as 3 columns, keeping the difference in rank as a number with varied colors. I asked my wife for some feedback, and she suggested I try to do it a different way, with 3 rows and labels, which looks much better. Then I worked on displaying the score breakdown. I kept the score counting up animation since I liked that from the other panel. Afterwards, I worked on displaying the current and best times. I tested the whole screen by creating a test method that would call each component and display some test data. Finally, I made the new screen the default prefab and tried it on a level. With this new screen, when you don't have a better score, empty rank sections display. So the next step was to display the current rank in this situation. First, I had to update the leaderboards to let me download the current player's rank for a level. This required updates to the leaderboard service and leaderboard manager. The leaderboard service uses the download entries for user Steamworks API with the current user and invokes a callback with the result. The leaderboard manager fetches both the current score and time, waiting for both results to finish before providing them to a callback. This lets me display both previous scores at the same time. Then I worked on retrieving the uploaded results and displaying them. I did find a bug here. When the uploaded score does not change your position on the leaderboard, you get a previous rank of 0. Since the documentation was unclear, I logged a support request to Steam to get the docs updated. Accounting for those changes, I finally had a successful result when completing a level. Since the level complete screen displays progression vertically, I updated the world maps bar to use the same layout. I also updated the level dialog to only show the available chests, which was feedback I received during a playtest. Since I can now get the current ranks for a user, I updated the level selection dialog to display a user's current rank. Then I reorganized the panel layout a bit and handled the case when you don't have a rank. Eventually, I'll retouch this layout when I have an icon I like for the score indicator. The second level in this world is based off of the outline of a container ship. I started by making a rough shape and interior, and running through the skeleton just to check the timing. This level reintroduces the pufferfish, except it now has a patrolling pattern. I first focused on the bottom area where the chest is, making sure traps felt fair. I then tried a few variations on the top portion. Happy with the general location, I try to run without getting hit, as usual. Since this level uses single width walls, I had to create new tiles. In order to get the tiles to tile correctly, I used portions of the walls to create the middle section of a single tile wide tile set. For the end walls, I used the corners of the initial tile set in order to get things to blend correctly. Then I imported them and created the physics shape, using my reference tile sheet for the right dimensions. With that checked off, it was time to do the usual art pass, starting with the collider tiles. Just like the first level, I did a little bit of decoration with the filler tiles so the walls aren't always brown. Then I ran through the level, ensuring I could complete it without getting hit. Here's a high-level overview of the second level. The third level is based on a sketch of a vertical and broken ship. Since this level introduces the jellyfish, I wanted it to be mostly vertical, like the castle towers. I spent a lot of time working on the shape of the level. making alterations to it and checking the distance to the chest. I couldn't quite find a shape with a bend that didn't look odd, so I opted for a fully vertical layout. With that new shape decided, I laid out traps and did my first pass at not getting hit. Then, as usual, the art pass with the collider and filler tiles. To tie it all together, one final run with the level art complete. Here's a high-level overview of the third level. That's it for this devlog. My focus for the next part will be finalize the levels in the third world. Update the anchor's chest logic. If you want to support me, please visit the Don't Drown store page linked in the description and add the game to your wishlist. Until next time.